you got invited to a free cruise, what would you do? I got invited aboard Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas for a preview sailing celebrating its grand debut in Los Angeles, and it's mainly travel agents aboard. So is this cruise for work, pleasure, or somewhere in between? Let's get this sea day started to find out. It's time to wake up. Good morning and welcome aboard Ovation for the second day, a sea day. If you are joining us from the first day, you know that this is a travel agent cruise, so it's a little bit of a different one. Normally, regular cruises don't have a full-on trade show aboard, and that is what we're going to be participating in today. Now, if you are yourself a travel agent and you want to do one of these, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how this happened. Ultimately, all I know is that our agency, Gold Rush Getaways, the one that we work for, my dad and I, they recognized us and they decided that they wanted to send us. I don't know how many is allotted to any agency or all that stuff. Who knows? That's all beyond me. But Royal Caribbean was like, who do you got? Our agency said, these guys. And so Royal Caribbean invited us, which is really cool. Such a really unique thing. I don't know if we'll ever do it again, but I am just so happy and blessed that we get the opportunity to do it, and I'm so excited to share it with you. It's a bit of a stormy day. Not really stormy. There's not a storm going on, but it's an overcast, cloudy, colder day. Kind of what you can expect in California, not always hot weather, especially on the Pacific Ocean, but it'll be a good day nevertheless. They gave us these packets and they each have a page and we're gonna go through it. There's cabins for us to visit later. There's booths for us to visit on the trade show aspect of it. This is gonna be fun, but before we get to any of that stuff, we're going to go to Common Grounds in the Royal Theater. It's a Q&A with Royal Caribbean's VP of Sales, Vicky. She's a really awesome person and I cannot wait to see what some of the questions have. I don't know how much I'm gonna show. I'll try and show some of the fun and cool stuff, but we'll see. Let's get down there.
I have to introduce you to the woman of the hour. And folks, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to this incredible individual. She is the Senior Vice President of Sales and Trade Support and Service. Born and raised on the West Coast, she is California Gold. Please welcome the incredible Vicky Freed.
For being here on this beautiful ship, and you know, for many years, every Q&A that we ever did on any coast, we will always hear the question, when are you going to bring ships to Los Angeles? Yep. And next year we're going to have the Serenade of the Seas out of San Diego. So when we say the West Coast is the best coast, we are coming out strong. So thank you everybody for being here and enjoying these 3 days with all of us. Now,
we sell the WS, and it's a guarantee junior suite or better. Juan Silva, we have never gotten anything better than a junior suite.
And why is that, Juan Silva?
So for the WSs, so we have a great new system that we implemented a couple of years ago in which you can bid into those higher suites. So we tend to go through those bids first for those people that have bid into those. And then if we don't have any of those left, we will give the WSs those higher suites.
And then, by the way, that program, Royal Up, it works. It's fantastic. So for every bid that we take, usually 6 rooms get upgraded from that one. And I have to tell you, I was a recipient of a Royal Up. I thought it was crazy to bid. It was for the Icon for Christmas. I bid, I can't remember, like $6,000, and yes, can you imagine? And I got a star class suite with a genie, and I am never going backwards now. Okay, you hear that, Raymond? I always need a genie. Although there wasn't a genie in my suite, I'm not in a suite on this ship, but there wasn't a genie here.
You had asked how we were looking earlier. It's because of Vicky's bookings into loft suites, and she's the only one supporting Royal Caribbean at this time.
And stock price is $256 in case you haven't checked.
That it's really difficult to sell beverage packages without everybody in the cabin having to buy one. This is a really difficult situation in this day and age with people who are alcohol free. I have medical issues, I've had to call, and I understand people do cheat the system, but other people are getting cheated out.
Okay, so the answer to your question is, if somebody is truly not going to cheat the system, we will make the exception. So if somebody is pregnant, they shouldn't be drinking alcohol. And if somebody is gone through AA, they probably shouldn't be drinking alcohol. So we want to be respectful of those clients, so we will make the exception on those. I always say that we have the unique combination of quality and energy combined. Now, there are quality lines out there, we own them, and there are lines that might have energy, but nobody has that combination of quality meets energy. So that energy piece of it is what's catering to that new generation of cruisers, and they're loving the experience, and you see the way we're building our ships, and the live orchestra. You saw the live orchestra. I believe on Icon of the Seas, it's 17 live orchestra members. I mean, we are going big time on live music, where a lot of people have gone to taped music or DJs, and while those venues, those ideas can work, for us, it's about having the street parties on the Royal Promenade on the bigger ships, so we're not having any trouble attracting that younger audience.
And we still want to stay traditional. That's what Royal Caribbean's all about as well. So we will offer shuffleboard to the latest craze in the world today.
We just finished Common Grounds. That was really cool. Vicky is a personality. She should be the face of Royal Caribbean, or like a brand manager or something along that line. She's on top of it. She knows her stuff too. And the cruise director, Ryan, who we haven't seen too much of, he was in it as well. And he's an awesome cruise director. There's not a lot of great interactive cruise directors, but he is definitely one of them. And there was a lot of Royal Caribbean brass. That was cool. So they had some help to answer some questions. It was a fun thing. Definitely. It packed out. The house was packed today. I did not expect that. But now we're actually going to go try and do some of the room tour stuff. We're back in the Windjammer for yet another meal, which is weird because we don't normally go to the Windjammer a lot. But today, on the trade show day, they're doing a special lunch, which is really nice. By the way, we did try and go to the trade show, and we did try to do the room tours, and it was actually really a long line, so we're hoping that we eat. Things will be better later. That's the hope. But they're doing seafood, which is something that they don't normally do on any regular given day at the buffet. I wish they would do it every day. That'd be really awesome. Or just at least one day on every cruise, but it's not a normal thing. So it's a treat that we get this today. I know that my plate looks like an absolute mess, but you know what, it is what it is. That's how the buffet works. And, you know, the cool seafood stuff is pretty cool. I'm not really a big fan of all of it, but it's nice to see that they're really taking care of us on this cruise. Got a whole half a lobster tail. That's pretty cool. It has its perks. It's not an everyday thing, so we gotta enjoy what we can, right? Alrighty, trade show part 2, we're gonna try again, and it looks like it's cleared up way more. So let's see what we got. Welcome back to 270. One would think, given that we were invited to this cruise for free, they would require us to attend the trade show, but surprisingly it was optional. Held in the beautiful 270 with views of the wake behind us, they had fun little booths about different aspects of Royal Caribbean. They simply handed out information, and some of the booths even had free stuff. Really not much to report back to you on that, but now it's time to take a look at the cabins. We're gonna try the cabin again, but we're gonna have to wait. It is what it is. Might as well do it.
There's 2 more. Hey.
Small one.
We finally made it in the room. This is a nice room. So that was a 2-bedroom grand. That was really cool. So now we're going to what, the loft suite?
Royal Loft.
The owners and Royal Loft Suites. So the best 2 suites you can get on this. There's a glass door that separates the loft suites before you even get to the actual door.
There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary.
Wow, look at the view of the aft. Woo! So the loft suites are really nice, spacious rooms, but then they're all the way in the back. I think that's the disadvantage, but I like it. That's cool. I mean, if we stayed in one of these rooms, that'd be awesome. But the difference from the last room that we were in, the 2-bedroom grand, it's only a Sky class suite, which means you get concierge and coastal kitchen and a few other benefits, but this one, the loft suites, are actually Star class, which means you get a genie, or basically the equivalent of a butler. All stuff that we'll never do on the channel. Well, we could tour it around, so that's pretty cool.
'Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are
probably like 80 grand or more for this cabin, depending on when you book it. So start class with a genie someday. Keep wishing. Sorry, mommy.
This is the best room on the ship. I wish. Alright, just finished up with all the room tours, completed the book, got it all signed. I think we get a little souvenir pin collection thing at the end, so that's where we're gonna go. It was really nice to go through all the cabins. They'd skipped out on the insides and ocean view windows and balconies, which fine by me, because most of us are in those cabins and they're regular cabins. It was just a chance for us to take a look and see the unique cabins that we may ourselves probably will never book. But also it's kind of like motivation. We should probably sell more because then we want to go on those nicer cabins. Maybe that's the thought process too. Who knows? Alrighty, I guess we get to collect our prize here in the promenade, or the Esplanade. I get confused between the names. And the whole day was about what's in this box. Alrighty, made it back to the cabin, and time to take a look at what we got. I know it's some pins. It's hard to do with one hand. Hold on a second. Here we go. What did we get? Ooh, some Ovation of the Seas pins. If you're a pin collector, these are really cool. I like them. And so we completed it from front all the way to back. I mean, ultimately, it basically was like a trade show. We got some free swag, some booths gave out some different things. I won these, I think, luggage pads or something. I don't know. We just got stuff. But I will say one of my favorite things that we got is the groups department. By the way, my setup for editing the video, I am halfway done. So I actually, for the first time, should have uploaded a video while on board the same sailing. It doesn't happen very often or rarely. But regardless, what I wanted to say, got a cool mouse pad. Yes, that's cool. And I didn't really want to buy a mouse pad, so we got one for free. Oh, sometimes prayers get answered. Just a little bit of fun. Really cool thing. Never really done something like this before, but big shouts to Royal Caribbean and just making the warm welcome aboard Ovation super spectacular. I am so stoked that we got to do this. I didn't know exactly how today was gonna go, and it was a little bit of a mess. I mean, we had to wait in quite a bit of lines. There's a lot of time waiting because basically the entire ship is here for this. Did we learn anything? Yes, we did. There's a few things that as a travel agent, we know more, and there's a few things as a YouTuber that I might know how to talk about Royal Caribbean in a different way. You'll see it across the future videos, I'm sure. We're not done yet. The day's not over. We still have some things to do tonight, like dinner, which I think we're gonna have a nice fancy dinner menu, which I think is really cool. But let's go to what's next. Welcome back to American Icon. Oh my gosh. I say welcome back, but we actually haven't been to this restaurant. Like I said, 4 different restaurants. And tonight in American Icon, we have a special treat. Just like Windjammer had an upgraded menu for lunch, dinner has an upgraded menu as well. It acted like a mix between the Mexican menu and the Royal Night menu. It's not something you'll ever really see on a regular sailing, or actually maybe not even ever again, but it was good. They had jumbo shrimp, which was extremely good, and they had lobster tails, and combining it with the Spanish rice was an added twist that I never thought I wanted in a Royal Caribbean menu. Though I did find it interesting that they stepped up the dining menus on this free cruise. Lobster night will only show up on 6-night cruises or longer, and this is only a 3-night cruise, which we didn't pay for. So you would think that with the upgraded dining room menus, you would find that we would get specialty restaurants free as well, but that was actually invite only. So you had to be special to get invited for the cruise alone, but you had to be the special of the special to get one meal in any of the specialty dining rooms aboard Ovation. It's kind of unfortunate because we didn't get invited, but earlier in the day we got to try a sample of the alternative solution they allowed for those who weren't invited. So then, though we can't go to the specialty restaurants, they are doing some tastings around where you could try some samples of some dishes. So Jamie's, you could try whatever that happens to be. Cheesecake? Okay, I'll do this one. Alright. You guys in line as well? Alright. Okay, this one's good. Yeah, that was the only thing we tried for the day. Just came back to the cabin, and one thing that we actually found is we got a cool cup. Look at that. And some tea. That's really nice. Just getting tons of swag for being aboard this sailing. I wish we could do more of these because this is the kind of stuff that I like to kind of put on my shelf and collect. Yeah. Dinner was really good though, and I guess it's already dark, but it's time to head back out. Just wanted to show that off. Time to take the long walk all the way to 270 in the back of the ship. Huh. Just a few short hours ago, this was the trade show, but they've cleared everything out and now we get to watch Spectra's Cabaret. This is the full show. They didn't amplify or decrease any of the shows on board, so the entertainment is just as is. Even though we spent all day doing work, they've had stuff going on all day. Welcome to 270. This is one of those shows that you do have to make a reservation in advance, and actually this does open up in advance of the cruise, so hop on. Is it 45 days before the cruise? It's about 45 days ahead of the cruise. You got to make a reservation. It's free. You can come to the show for free, but you need a reservation. If you do stand by, especially in 270, it's a smaller venue, and you can kind of tell that this is not the traditional theater type, so it might be a little tricky to get in, but it's going to be really fun. It's unique, and we'll see how it goes.
Welcome. I'm Spectra, your guide and host this evening. Allow me to share with you my latest revelation. A pathway to another dimension. Everything has a rhythm. The tides of the sea, the blood flowing through you and me, even the sun in the sky vibrates to a galactic beat. Like Alice down the rabbit hole, let's plunge into the portal. See you on the other side.
Make some noise, give it up for the incredible cast of Spectra's Cabaret!
And that was Spectra's Cabaret. I was an artsy type of show. It follows Spectra, who was our host throughout the entire show, and Spectra would introduce different scenes and different numbers that would happen, implementing the 270 robots, some of the screens, and some of the singers and dancers throughout the show. It was kind of an interesting one. Definitely artsy is the word I would use. Not my favorite 270 show, but the interesting thing about the venue is depending on where you sit, and you can tell throughout the footage where I sat, I didn't get as early as I wanted to be. You could miss out on a lot of this show because a lot of it is on the ground floor of the stage in 270, which is kind of a weird angle to look at. It's kind of interesting. I will say the crowd didn't seem too well received about it, but one time, a couple years ago when I went on Navigator, the first sailing out of Los Angeles, the crowd didn't like Showgirls, and then suddenly the next sailing, everyone loved it. So maybe it's going to be something like that. You know, critics can be wrong. I can be wrong by that. So my assumptions may be that the next sailing, when we come back, and there's more people on board, it might jive with the energy. They might jive with the people. There's some great moments in it. There's some good singing, some good dancing. Those hard for me to see and hard for you to see on the camera, which kind of is a bummer. And yeah, I have been on this ship. I do not remember if I actually saw this. Before, I would do this thing called the 2-minute rule, where I would go walk into a show, watch for 2 minutes, and if it earned my interest, I would stay for another 2 minutes. But if it wasn't good enough in that 2 minutes, then I would just walk out and never look back. And I think this was one of those shows that I might have done that on. And to be honest, there's a lot of times where if you walked in, the 2-minute rule, you'd leave, at least in my opinion. Then again, art has never really been my thing, so maybe if you watch the show and you get it, and like it speaks to you, then comment down below, because it doesn't speak to me. But hey, you know what? I think it's really cool that they try to do something really interesting and something different, unique, and that's what it's all about. It's worth one show. Don't trust this critic's review, because I have been wrong in the past. Do your own judgment, come aboard the ship, and see for yourself if it's good or bad. One thing we actually do get on this cruise is drinks, which is kind of a surprise to me. Usually, I mean, we didn't pay anything to be on this cruise, yet we're getting unlimited drinks, like no beverage packages, like no one has to pay for any drinks. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of awesome. Kind of a big shock to me, something that kind of a waste on me, given that I don't really drink anything other than water, which is already included in the price of a cruise, so you don't have to worry about getting water. But the fun drinks are actually included on our cruise, which is really cool. We don't have to pay extra for it. And so I guess we're going to take advantage of it, and we're going to try out the Bionic Bar, a place that I hardly ever go to. This is such a weird angle. But anyways, when you walk up to the Bionic Bar, you go up to one of the iPads, you put in your order. They have such a wide range of selections, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. It usually does cost money, but like I said, it is free and included on this sailing, so we had to try it. You could make your own custom cocktail, which I think is pretty cool, but I just went with one of the already pre-made ones, and you get to see the robot make it for you right in front of you, and then you come up and scan your card, and voila, your drink gets delivered. Pretty cool stuff. I ended up getting the Cinderella, which I don't know what that means. I didn't even read. It tells you the description what's in the drink. I didn't even read it. That's on me. This could be bad or good. It's like a fruit punch, honestly. I have no idea what I got, but it's good. I enjoy it. But we had to do it. We don't normally do this, so at least we got it one. We got one drink. And this is a really interesting thing, but depending on the camera angle, my camera can stop the robots from working. Interesting, I think. Something to do with sensors or something or other. This is probably going to sound like the most woe is me kind of thing, but I'm going to tell you anyways, and it has to do with the shops. And that is that we do not get our Crown and Anchor membership benefits, which that's the loyalty program here on Royal Caribbean. If you've sailed more than a few times or a lot more times, then you get some pretty nice benefits, and one of those benefits is a discount in the store on Royal Caribbean merchandise, that is. And unfortunately, the way this has worked is, since we did not pay to get on this cruise, we do not get any Crown and Anchor benefits. So that includes the discount in the stores, unfortunately, which makes sense, but it's a bummer because, say, like the ship model, something I always do when I first get aboard, it is $80. And while I love buying them and I will buy it, I'm going to wait till I'm on a sailing where I paid for it so I get the discount. It just, I mean, it's only a few bucks, but I'm going to be on a paid sailing like in a day or two. So it's better to wait to purchase the ship model then. I just find it really interesting that's kind of how this is working though. But hey, it makes sense. We didn't pay a dime. No one paid any more than the other person aboard. Fair that none of us get any extra additional benefits. I'm gonna miss the discount in the store. Only for a day or two. Ship model coming in the next sailing. The one more thing that we lost out on is the Diamond, or the Crown Lounge, I mean. Diamond and above does get access to a concierge lounge, and we don't get it on this sailing. This stuff probably all sounds like first world problems, but I'm just telling you, this is how it is. It is what it is. Hey, we're on a cruise. Can't get worse than that. We're actually gonna step into the music hall for some live music.
As I mentioned before, Journey was huge at the time. In fact, they were supporting their greatest selling album, Escape. They were on their Escape World Tour. And while on the tour bus, Jonathan Cain, Journey's keyboardist and songwriter, he was inspired to pen a song that would become an anthem for a generation. It spoke of a musician's life on the road, the sacrifices one makes, the people you leave behind, the people that nowadays you want to pick up that cell phone with and FaceTime with across distance, right? But folks, we know a little bit about that, but in our travels, we've come to understand that this next song actually applies to a whole different group of people. And of course, I'm speaking of those brave women and men who fight each and every day to protect and procure our freedom. That's right, it's because of these brave individuals that we're able to stand up here on this stage doing what we love to do. To the United States Armed Forces, to our veterans, this is
That was DSB, Don't Stop Believin' is what that stands for. They're a Journey tribute band, one of our favorites. They've actually come to our city to play concerts every once a year or something like that, and we love them. We love them. Every time we see them on a Royal Caribbean cruise, it's a really, really great day. They're usually on all the best, so Ovation's brand new launch to California makes sense that they brought DSB. Phenomenal band, love them. And I am going to apologize because I probably have to cut around the amazing music, and that's because copyright's an issue, and they sound pretty good where it would probably flag. So anyways, that was DSB. And also, by the way, coming from Spectra, they do not get an audience like DSB does. I'm just saying. It's kind of how it goes. That's why we had to do an artist showcase. Had to do it. They're so good. And like that, we've come to the end of an evening. If you've noticed, we may have skipped over the 80s party like I was saying we were gonna do, but we didn't do it, and that's because we're gonna actually cover that in the back-to-back video. So not tomorrow's video, the day after that. But just a recap of today, that is, I mean, it was a different video. It's not something that we normally do. I don't know if you enjoyed it or if I covered it as great as I possibly could have, because it was something that on the fly I was trying to adapt, running in different situations, really interesting and awkward scenarios to record in, but we tried to cover it the best we can. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It may not be interesting to the regular person, but maybe someone out there enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed it, then thank you for watching all the way to the end. We have one more beautiful day at Ensenada, Mexico, which we're not actually going to be getting off, so it's going to be just like a sea day tomorrow, and we're going to actually talk about what the ship is like, the reality of it, pros, cons, all that stuff tomorrow. Anyways, all that in tomorrow's video. Thank you very much for watching today. As always, this isn't a goodbye, but just a see ya real soon.